Hey everybody, welcome to Transformers Masterpiece Theater. I'm the Rusty Mechanic, and today we're back inside the maintenance terminal. This is also the first channel I'm going to be doing for a new channel I'm starting. I'm calling Wheeljack's Workshop. It'll be a dedicated channel to these types of repair videos, so I'll leave a link in the description down below in this video so you can go and check out that channel, and please subscribe if you do enjoy these types of repair videos that I have been doing. So today we're going to look at a repair on Fans Toys FT-30A Maverick. This appears to be a common issue with Maverick. What I have happened is the shoulder assembly, the die-cast arm that is in here, the screw head actually sheared off from the threads that are inside the chest piece here. And I'll just show you so you can see. But this arm is no longer attached to the torso or the chest piece. So I contacted Fans Toys. I'll leave a link to their email in the description down below as well. And they did contact me back right away, and they sent me this chest piece, and as well as two new screws right here. These are two new screws for both arms, so I'll actually be replacing both screws, well, the chest piece, and then using the two new screws to reattach the shoulder assemblies to the chest piece. And before we get into it, I'll just show you exactly what I'm talking about that happened with the screw that was in the chest piece. And there's the head of it right there. So this happened during transformation. I was trying to film a 3-minute transformation video, so I was going through the motions a couple times just to get used to it, and the head of that screw sheared off during one of the transformations. And like I said, I contacted Fans Toys, and they sent me these parts. So let's get into it. You do have to partially transform the shoulders just so that you can release the fuselage or the backpack away from the body, so you can get access to the screws that are inside the chest piece. What you will need for this is a precision screwdriver kit. So I have one like this, and inside the kit is the screwdriver. And you'll also need an extension. One of the screws is a little hard to reach, so you do need some type of extension to be able to reach down far enough to get at the screw. My bits are magnetized, which makes it easier for getting the screws out and back into the holes. If you don't have a magnetized tip, it's fine. Just find yourself a pair of needle nose pliers so that you'll be able to reach in and grab the screws to pull them out, as well as to put them back in the holes. So let's put these over here. And so to start, like I said, we do have to lift up the tops of the shoulders, which is part of the transformation, just to get those out of the way. And then you want to pop the front fuselage or this backpack and just swing it up over his head. Move the wings out of the way. And the screws are in underneath the fuselage here, so we have to detach the shoulder assembly tabs from the fuselage, so we'll just pop these out. Like that. Same thing on the other side. There we go. Now we'll just go ahead and lay him down. Alright, and then we'll lift up now that we have these detached, the fuselage will lift away from the back. Just make sure those tabs are out of the way. Fuselage will lift away from the back. Now, I will caution you as you get into this is a bit of a, I'm going to call it a frustrating repair, maybe even difficult, just because of where the screws are located, but also trying to deal with all of these panels and fuselage pieces and everything. Everything starts to flop around as you take everything apart. Just be patient with it. It's not that hard. Take your time with it. Be patient with it, and you shouldn't have too much trouble. So, lift the fuselage away. And then we'll go ahead and we'll lift up this rear part of the fuselage like this. And you'll see that there is a screw all the way down inside here that you have to get to. So that's why I'm saying you need your extension. So Phillips head bit number 1, put it in the extension, reach down in here, and we'll get this screw out. It doesn't want to come out with my magnetic bit, so I'll just go get it with the flathead pliers here. Once you have that one out, then you can put this fuselage back down, lift up the front half, and then there's 3 more screws. So there's a screw, 2 middle screws right here, and then there's 1 screw that's just in behind the head here. You can get at it with your screwdriver. You don't need the extension, so I'll just remove the extension, go back to the regular one. The one in behind the head, you kind of have to go at it at a bit of an angle because it's in a bit of an awkward place, but you can get in there with your screwdriver and it will come right out. There we go. He is being magnetic. It was just stuck in there. All right. And then we'll go after the 2 in the middle. There's 1. These metal screws and plastic, so sometimes they get hung up in there. You just got to go in there with your flathead pliers and pull them out. So just a note that the, I don't know if I can show this. So this is the screw from behind the head, and this is the screw from the center, but they are 2 different lengths, so don't get these mixed up. The one behind the head and the one that's at the bottom are both longer than the 2 that are in the center of the torso, so make sure that you keep those separate. So now that we've got all the screws out, we're just going to put the fuselage back out. Take this guy and move him up here just to make it easier, and we'll just pick up all of Maverick and flip him all the way over. And then this entire section right here will just lift straight up and out. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to get a new Autobot logo, but there you go. The whole assembly just lifts out like that. So once you have it out, you can take Maverick's main body here, put him off to the side, and there you go. So now we'll have to take the 2 screws out. Now this arm is the one that's broken, so it's going to fall away on its own. But it's tabbed into the torso right here and right here. So we'll just separate this away. And there you go. So like I said, so this piece just fell off because, I'll just flip it over so you can see. So the arm of the shoulder assembly is holding this piece in place. It keeps it from falling out. It's just sitting inside the torso. So it just sits in here like this. So as you're putting everything back together, you have to make sure that the arm is obviously sitting in the right place to hold this in its position as you're putting everything back together. Otherwise, it's just going to fall off like that. So just put that one off to the side. And you're going to want to get the arm out of the way to get access to the other screw, because as you can see right here, screw is right behind this panel so you can't see it. So what you need to do is just open this up and rotate this out of the way so you can see the screw. And again, Phillips head. Phillips head screw all the way out. And we'll take this one. We won't need this one because we have the two new screws from Fan Toys, so we'll just get rid of that. And then, as you can see, this sort of twisted out of position there, so just be careful with that. And then pull that arm assembly off. Put it over there. Let's just straighten that out. All right, so there's the old chest piece, and here's the new one. So we'll take this one and get rid of it. And now we're just going to reverse the order. So let's start with we'll start with this side. And find it's a little easier. You just sort of give yourself a little bit of an angle there. Let's go ahead and rotate this down and away. And you just want to get that on there like that. Again, let's rotate the arm out of the way. Now take a new screw, drop it into place, and screw this back in. Now these are metal screws going into plastic, so you don't want to over tighten them, particularly with this one, since this is the one that broke. Well, not this one, but the other side. But you just want to check it to make sure that it's then flush with the plastic, and then you just want to give it a test that it's not impeding the transformation, because the arm does have to rotate all the way around to there as part of the transformation. So once you have this in, then you can, let's just fix this, straighten this out, put this back into its proper place, and then just bring the arm forward. Again, you kind of have to work with the panel a bit because it does get in the way, but you need to bring this part right all the way forward again and tap it back into place, right, so that it's ready to be put back into position. So there we go, we have one arm back on. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So you don't necessarily have to put this in right away. As you saw the way I was sort of working with the other one. And I'll put this onto here. Might be why this one's a problem. Might be a problem with the mold, because this one doesn't seem to want to go on as smoothly as the other side. Be curious to know in the comments below if you want, if anybody else has had this problem, if it's always the like if you've had your arm break off, was it the left arm? Because if it's always the left arm, there might be a problem with this mold. Anyway, there we go. So I'll get that back in, and then like I said, just check it out. It does seem to be on a bit of an angle. It's interesting. So there may be a problem with the mold here for Maverick, because this doesn't look like it's quite straight, but it's fairly straight. And we'll get the arm up out of the way, and we'll put this torso panel back into place. Fold that in to get it out of the way. And then, like I said, you just need to work this to the front. Oops. There we go. And tab it into place like that. Straighten out your arms. And now we're ready to put this back into place. So you just want to make sure as well that you're keeping these guys out of the way, because they will get in the way as you're trying to put the torso assembly back onto the main figure. So let's just put that over here, and let's bring Maverick back in, and we'll take our torso assembly. Just drop him right into place like that. Perfect. And then we'll need to hold everything in place as we flip it back over. Like that. Get the wings out of the way. And then obviously we'll need to get access to the screws again. So I'll move the rear fuselage out of the way, bring the front and middle fuselage back out of the way. And I typically start with the two smaller screws in the center torso. Just a quick update or change to what I said. I actually started off saying to start with the two center screws. Then what I found once I had it reassembled was it had, by tightening these two screws first, it actually causes the chest plate to sort of bend and flex to the point that the this part of the assembly of the head is actually pulled in too far towards the center. When you bring the fuselage back down, the head is pinned against the top of the fuselage. You can't pivot the head anymore. So I'm going to change what I said, put the top and bottom screw in first, and then put the two center screws in afterwards and tighten them up. Kind of wish Fans Toys had included instructions. I mean, it's somewhat intuitive, but intimidating at the same time when you don't have a set of instructions from the manufacturer on how to replace the part. You just sort of want that assurance that what you're assuming you're doing is correct, and not that you're guessing at it. Just a note on the top screw here that it will, you can see that my screwdriver is at an angle, but the screw is going down in straight, so there is some leeway there with your screwdriver. Just keep in note that if you feel some resistance right away, then you've probably got the screw in at an angle, so you don't want to cross thread it, so make sure that you back it off and just try it again. And again, a reminder that once you feel some resistance, just stop. You don't, this is metal screws and plastic, and you don't need to overdo it here. It's not like a part on a car or anything. You just want to make sure that they're tight. And then we'll go back to this last one. So, and I don't want to drop the screw here, so I'm going to use my flathead, sorry, needle nose pliers, and I'll just drop the screw right back into place. There we go. I'll get my extension back in here so I can reach it. There you go. There we go. All right. And then, of course, we just need to put everything back together. So middle fuselage, rear fuselage down into place. Red tab back into the fuselage, which will lock it into place. we go. And make sure that the fuselage is down and bring the shoulders back down onto that tab. Same thing on this side. And we'll put the wings back into place, and then tab hole here onto this tab. So we just put the front fuselage into place. That. Oops. And there you go. One chest replacement video to fix a broken screw for the shoulder assembly, and as you can see, everything working nicely. If you do like these videos, please make sure to hit that like button down below. It sure helps out a lot. Please subscribe to this channel and my new channel, Wheeljack's Workshop, so you don't miss out on any videos. And if you want to support these channels, please check the links in the description down below. You can support the channel at buymeacoffee.com. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much. This is Transformers Masterpiece Theater. I'm the Rusty Mechanic inside the maintenance terminal.